This amazing monument has always held a strange fascination for me. As a teenager, I'd pass by all the time on the train, and it already had iconic status because it featured on the cover of an album by the prog rock band Pink Floyd, except they had a floating inflatable pig above it.
Battersea Power Station was built in the 1930s and continued operations for decades. Today, restorations often need modern commercial approaches to get the go-ahead. And so, after half a century of neglect and failed proposals, eventually, powered by overseas funding, one plan here succeeded. By creating a mix of retail, office, residential and tourism spaces. It opened to the general public in 2023.
You see up there, that is a water indicator. So you've got low water.
Sarah Banham spent nearly 20 years on the redevelopment, trying to balance the often competing needs of the local community, business and historic interest groups.
Right, we're going into one of the most unique and special parts of the power station now. I mean, it always gives me goosebumps when I walk in. It's incredible. So it's control room A.
Yeah.
After you.
Whoa, look at this. This is cool.
So it's a real fine example of Art Deco architecture, and yet it's a control room powering London.
This is incredible. I feel like a little boy. I wanted to ask you what all the panels do. It was a really important part of the power supply of London.
20% of London's electricity came from here.
And each of these monitors, dials, whatever,
they would send electricity out to substations. So if we go along here, you can see
oh God, yeah.
Carnaby Street, Morton Street. So these are all really large substations in London.
And what would the dials actually be saying?
So they would be balancing the load of electricity that goes out to the substations. And then each generator had to balance the load using a synchroscope.
Right.
And it was incredibly manual. And they had to do it with the handles.
Really?
Looking at the synchroscope. So the synchroscopes would swivel.
Yeah.
And they had to get the dial indicator between fast and slow at the top, using this machinery. And then you remember I said Carnaby Street back down there? So again, just up here, we've got another Carnaby Street too. And that was code for Buckingham Palace.
Oh.
So it also powered Buckingham Palace and the Houses of Parliament.
And would there ever be like power shutdowns in London? Or?
Yeah, the power station never, ever stopped working. And that's through World War II as well.
Wow.
So it was hit by bombs. There was one in this control room, but luckily it didn't go off. And the story is that the Luftwaffe and the British Air Force used the smoke from the chimneys as a signal, and this was a real landmark.
What lessons do you think you've learned about how we preserve our heritage for future generations?
I think the key lesson is working in partnership, but making it fit for the 21st century. At its peak, when we were in construction, we had nearly 4,500 construction workers on site. We had 16 tower cranes just in the power station itself. I mean, it was a huge undertaking.
The Travel Show, your essential guide wherever you're heading. Every weekend on BBC News.